What's going on, Pisces? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having an amazing month so far, but also hope you're enjoying the last little bit of your birthday season, depending on when you're watching this. When does the sun move? The sun moves next week, so we're getting closer there. But yeah, hopefully if you've had a really wonderful birthday season, hopefully this has been very intuitive for you, been just a really kind of a great way to connect back with source, and just hope your energies feel revitalized and just ready to take on the next year that's coming your way for the least your solar for at least the rest of your solar return. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions and likes and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Pisces, especially during your birthday season, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy how yourself has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. And let me tell you why it's also amazing, Pisces, because it is Celestial News Monthly. Is it going to do it? Oh no, it's not gonna do it. Oh, there it is, Pisces. I was gonna say, don't make me look awkward like this. So just look at this guy. What is he doing? But Pisces, with this monthly spread, whenever the sun moves into a new sign, I'm gonna talk about where the planets are at and how we can work with the energies. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force reading on the situation. Okay? So with all that being said, there, Pisces. Let's jump into it. All right, Pisces, your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Pisces. Now, Pisces, I have Zodiac Oracle cards here with the signs that the planets and the suns are in. Excuse me, all the suns. The one sun, the where the planets and the sun is in, and we also have some lunar shenanigans there, Pisces. I don't get to talk about that too much often on this channel, so it's always a nice little mix up. And then I will pull a card from this deck for each one of them, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before I get into that, Pisces, I started this thing with Scorpio. Was just sort of this like a little random intuitive hit. And so I have these zodiac dice here. There's these 12-sided dice. One has like 12 numbers on them, which are for the houses. The others have, this one has the 10 celestial bodies plus the north and south node. And then I have this, always have this one here, but I've been using this one always for just have reference. You get to talk about the energies. It's like, wait, who am I checking in with? But we're going to talk about maybe some, I'm just going to kind of see what energies are coming through here, and we'll see if there's something in particular to focus on there, Pisces. Oh, and look at this. Wouldn't that be lovely, Pisces, if you had Venus in Pisces? Because depending on when you're watching this, Venus is still in Pisces right now, so that's a lovely energy to be. But I actually have this placement. So this is, you got Venus here, Pisces, and you have the first house. And so this might be something where you want to check in with things that having to deal with Venus there, Pisces. This could be how you go about feeling a sense of peace, of feeling a sense of balance. What are things that keep you feeling secure? How is your relationship with others? You know, do we have troubles with maybe boundaries, or is there a codependency that are going on? Or are things functioning at a healthy rate there? Do you feel that there is, because this is an interesting place for Venus to be, because technically the first house is Aries house, so she's kind of in a bit of, this is a tough stage for Venus to kind of act on here, because she is more geared towards the other, but now she is a little more focused on herself. And I feel like this energy is how that improvement of self can improve that relationship with others as well, because now there's how the nice thing about astrology is this allows us to use our imaginations. You know, it's like, sure, the symbols have these things that are kind of locked into place here, but how I navigate personally Venus in the first house is working on having this strong connection with the body, and this, because the first house deals with that's your ascendant, that's your how your first impressions. It can be where you come across and have this, how do you lean into charisma, how do you understand that sort of social charm and grace that Venusian energy has, that can even where it can be where, and I feel that, it's Venus can even kind of bless the ascendant a little bit to give this because Venus deals with looks and beauty and stuff. So, and the closer, fun little fact there, the closer that she is to the ascendant, that can really kind of translate stronger. She's actually at a pretty far degree in my first house. She's at the 28th degree in Leo, but I feel that this energy here for you, Pisces, is making sure to just kind of check in to make sure there is this reciprocity, that you haven't lost this connection with others. You haven't lost yourself in that, but also just staying in tune with the body as well. Not having this, because Pisces is that awareness of consciousness, but I feel sometimes in being able to access that realm so easily, get into that imaginative space, that universal ocean, that we can forget to check in with the body, make sure that everything is flowing well, because Venus is a very sensual energy as well. So this can, just checking in just with yourself there, Pisces, and how that relationship, and again, just even with where you are, how's your self-esteem feeling? How is that, that sense of confidence, or is this something that we need to work on with that? So I kind of like this, Pisces. So I hope that you enjoyed this as well. And that would be really lovely too, because again, Venus is exalted in your sign. She does very well in your sign, because this is the sign that's ruled by Neptune, the traditional rule, which is her higher octave. So and even just thinking about just kind of Venus in Pisces, I feel that just kind of being mindful of how others, I feel, kind of affects your body, again, because that's Pisces energy does have this sensitivity there, making sure to just, if you happen to have Venus in Pisces, for example, just to be mindful of, because where that is a very loving energy, very psychic energy, and can be very compassionate, just having some time for yourself as well to kind of recharge those batteries a little bit. But all right, Pisces, hopefully you like that. But last little bit here, Pisces, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for the situations, okay? All right, thank you, higher self. And in case if y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some links for some other readers that I like watching, Pisces, so definitely check them out. They're a very intuitive group, very supportive. So that's something to definitely check them out. There is a link for an astrologer that I enjoy watching and listening to as well. A couple of podcasts. And I want to say I included some books. If not, I'm going to start including some books down there. No, I don't think I got the books yet. But there is a website, an astrology website that I really do enjoy, and some apps as well there, Pisces. A whole bunch of goodies down there. But I'm almost there, Pisces. We're going to start talking about your card here in a moment. But we got to talk about this big old shindig that Aries is throwing in their sign, because they're going big. They saw what you were doing. They're like, all right, Pisces, I see you and I raise you. So Aries, we're going to have the sun that's going to be entering Aries. We're in eclipse season, Pisces. Actually, we started off eclipse season with that new supermoon that happened in your sign on the 10th of March. And then, so we're getting ready to, but that's first we're talking about this new moon, total solar eclipse that's going to be happening in Aries. Then we have Mercury, our first Mercury retrograde in Aries. And then we have the lovely Empress Venus that's going to be entering into Aries as well. And that's very, very similar to that Aries in the first house here. So this may be something to really kind of pay attention to here, Pisces. Because with the sun's going to enter on the 19th of March, and that'll be at about 8:07 p.m. Pacific time, and then he'll be there through the 19th of April. And this is an exciting energy, Pisces, because this is kicking off the vernal equinox. The spring is here, and this is a very fresh place for the sun to be. He's very alive, after all the reflection and letting go and transcending that previous astrological year. Now we're starting off, on new terms here. He's presenting himself in a new type of way. And that's what I kind of feel the energies are kind of leading for you here, Pisces. This is a time I feel, especially that you've been in such a creative space and in that strong connection with Neptune, whatever you have Pisces placements. That has been just kind of tuned up to the max there, Pisces. You've been in a very kind of psychic energy and in a great care with Neptune being in your sign, but you are going to start feeling that Aries influence here soon, especially that when she starts retrograding back and forth between Aries starting next year. I feel like that's going to be an interesting one for the Pisces frequency, and I feel this Sun in Aries is asking you, Pisces, what brings you to life? This is making your imagination, I feel like, become real here, starting to really kind of set some real kind of tangible goals for yourself. Get in this place of just kind of active imagination is what I'm really kind of getting with this energy, taking those just like really kind of intuitive projects is what I'm kind of feeling you starting up here, like writing down any sort of inspirations possibly that may come up for you there, and just learning to kind of trust this energy with where things are, because I like where stuff is kind of going for you here, Pisces. Oh, actually, let me switch this stuff around a little bit. But let's talk about this new moon total solar eclipse that's happening in Aries, because this is going to be happening on the 8th of April at about 11:21 a.m. and it's going to be happening at 19 degrees 24 minutes of Aries. And so if you have any points in like any fire placements, Leo, Sag, any air placements, Gemini, air placements, Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, or if you have any cardinal placements, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, and of course Aries, this point may be affecting you. You may notice this a bit more than normal. Actually, this is pretty forming like an okay square with my sun, so we'll see how that goes. But I got some plans with this one. But this is, I feel like, for you, Pisces, to get some plans with this one as well. I feel this is a time because the new moon is about planting new seeds, and I feel like when you get into eclipses, these energies are, big changes, and I feel this can be you. I'm getting like a tower in reverse type of energy where you're taking your imagination and you're like cloaking yourself in it and really kind of planting that seed, really feeling what it would imagine, where you want to be. And I feel like then it's starting to walk in that intuitively, because we're going to talk about that energy next. Because where the ruler of all this energy is happening is in April time. Mars is in your sign. Will be entering your sign here. So all of this stuff here is coming with this flavor of intuitive energy. It's not just, this is not one I feel like we're just kind of off to the races. This is an exciting energy, but one I feel like we want to really use very mindfully. Really kind of set some intention, things we know we're going to follow through, and set some achievable goals. And I feel this new moon total solar eclipse can see over the next, because they can span over 6 months with these changes, and I feel like you really start to notice some results here, Pisces, as far as like where your direction of your journey is going. I feel you just almost kind of just like almost like feeling like you've teleported. Like you'll be looking back over these energies in 6 months and think like, man, this really things have started to come in a way, depending on how you've been connecting with that. And I feel this next energy too may be a nice one for you, Pisces, to kind of get. And I feel like for everyone, this is a time to really kind of tune into what the instincts are telling. And I feel like, Pisces, this can really be where you shine, because you have Mercury, our first Mercury retrograde that's happening in Aries on the 1st of April at 3:15 p.m. and then they'll be retrograde through the 25th of April. Now Mercury is going to turn retrograde at 27 degrees 13 minutes of Aries, and this Mercury's been cooking for a while, and I feel it's like this is a time, I feel like, to again kind of tune in with where the body has been going, where you've been what direction have you been in, because with this. And that's interesting, Pisces. This hadn't come through with the other signs, but I feel that a lot of this energy, even though it is in a physical sign like Aries, I do feel there's this undercurrent that if we're not mindful, we may burn ourselves out too fast. This excitement may just do a little too much. And so I just feel like this is knowing when to move and when to rest. And this retrograde, I feel like, could be, again, where we just get strategies into place here. And it's not to say you can't start up stuff during Mercury retrograde. You may need to maybe do a trial and error a couple of times. This could maybe be even like a testing ground for some things. Is there actually potential there, or was this something that we were rushing, or maybe this is something like it's not worth scrapping, we're just not starting it right now. We're kind of prioritizing things a little bit differently, I feel, with this Mercury retrograde. And I do feel that there is making sure to tune in energetically with how we're interacting with stuff here. I feel that I feel this can be a place where the water signs may be a little sensitive to the energies, and there's going to be a need. I've been feeling the trine energies kind of interestingly, especially because Cancer had a very interesting one for this season. And I mean, that makes sense. Aries forms a square with Cancerian energy, but Scorpius was even kind of fascinating there. So I feel this is one to just, for the water signs to really kind of tune in and to really kind of dial that, just understand themselves, how these energies and emotions really run through the body, and imagine where you're going. It's a very kind of Nine of Cups type of energy, which is one of your cards, Pisces. But the last kind of energy here that we're going through, which is kind of similar to that Venus in the first house, is Venus in Aries. And Venus is entering on the 4th of April at about 9 p.m. and will be there through the 29th of April. Now, this is, I feel, one where I feel you're going to want to be receptive of those around you, Pisces. I feel that there may be some frustrated energies, and you don't want to, if you find that this stuff is too much, it's stating these kind of boundaries in a sense, because boundaries are one that we don't necessarily expect others to uphold your household. It's when you set the boundary, if they happen to break it, you have to follow through with that. That's the boundary, is our responsibility to hold up there. And I feel that this Venus in Aries for you is a bit stronger, maybe is a bit more forceful as far as like where you're going with your journey, what you feel you need to do, what you know intuitively, what needs to be done. And I feel like just making sure to voice your needs in a sense there, Pisces. And I feel that this can be one too, where you can I feel more confident and maybe even more secure in your relationships as well, because this can be one where this confidence here, I just feel like it's like you're recognizing that you have something to bring to the relationship, that you do elevate, you're understanding your value in a sense. Things are kind of changing there, and I'm even going to move that around. That's very fascinating, Pisces. So you really kind of tune in into this energy, and I feel like just again there's this energy of tuning into the body as well. I feel like it's kind of an important one there for you, Pisces. But let's go ahead and get into your first card here. And very interesting, this card's been going around a little bit. So you have the Puppeteer card here, Pisces, which is a card of explanations and apologies. But I think you're the first one who's maybe gotten it upright. I think maybe Scorpio got it upright too. But there's been a lot of this apologies energy kind of going around here and explanations. And so I feel that maybe with this Aries energy here, there could be some frustrations, like I was saying, kind of going into maybe this Mercury retrograde. Maybe I feel like it kind of catches people off guard, or they may burn themselves out a bit quicker. Not because when you feel that Aries energy, it's you think action, you think impulse, you think this, but Aries is more calculated than that. I'm thinking about like Aries at a very high frequency is doesn't need to rush, doesn't need to force anything, just knows when to move, knows when to rest. There's a confidence in the way that when in that instincts, how that intuition activates on them. So just I feel like just with that Mars though, Mars is letting some things go while we're going through this. I feel like where this is high concentration of Aries energy, and something to think about too, Pisces. When that eclipse is happening, Chiron's in the mix as well in this energy, and so there's a lot of healing that can come in through this. This could maybe be for some maybe doing some apologies towards yourself. This could be maybe some forgiving some of the things that you've, and then not needing an explanation for what happened. You were growing, you were going through an experience, and there's no need to be so tough. We can be I feel like it's just in general, we can all be very harsh on ourselves. And so I feel that, and maybe for some we do need to find an explanation for this, so that we can find the lesson in that as well, and maybe mindful. And so this can be maybe even reflecting on some past actions here and how we're going to go forward in this. Because, when I talk about these energies, and sometimes I think we can be thinking so big that it can be so overwhelming. These could be small things. Maybe we're working on showing up for our friends a bit different. I was actually just talking with someone with their sun in Virgo about this. Or this could be where we're making amends with maybe some past situations there. Maybe there's some things that we can repair, where we can find this state of forgiveness. But very interesting, Pisces. Let's get some tarot on this and get some details with it. Look at that Mercury retrograde. All right, Pisces. Think of yourself. All right, let's see what's going on here. All right, so you have the Magician, which is Mercury energy, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. Then you have the King of Wands, the Six of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles upright here, Pisces. And let's start with the Knight of Cups here, because I feel for some that if there's something here about a vulnerability with the Knight of Cups here. He's a very emotional knight. He's one that leads with his heart, wears his heart on his sleeve. And I feel for some that maybe if there is a relationship that we feel has a chance of being saved, in this crop here, that maybe we're kind of on unshaky ground right now, not quite sure what can possibly, how we could maybe change up our communications and things. But I feel this Knight of Cups is saying that we're going to need to, if this is something you're wanting, Pisces, to allow us a safe space to be vulnerable, allow a space for explanations. And I feel for both parties to make sure that they're being heard. I feel when we're Mercury retrograde, this is a great time to be intentional, to really kind of be mindful of our speech. How sometimes we can be just thinking about self so much. and how we can forget the other. It's a balance with that Venus. When we think about that Venus in the first house, or Venus in Aries energy. And I feel it's something with the King of Wands that it comes through experience, but I feel this is something here where we have to have the conversation, though, because I feel where you can move on from certain things like that, but I feel if sometimes if things are left unclosed, we may say that it's fine, and maybe it could be, but there might be some ways that could manifest in other types of ways if there's something that I just feel like it's not really being dealt with, or maybe where there's this. I feel like there's this emotional honesty almost with the Knight of Cups. I'm even getting almost like a Four of Cups, where we tell ourselves maybe we don't care about something, but over time something can spur up a certain emotion or whatever that may be for you, Pisces. But I feel the Soul Tribe is maybe in a bit of a just being mindful of any sort of intense emotions and things that may come up, and take them, I feel like, even as an invitation to look a bit deeper in oneself and see what we may be manifesting here with the Magician. And maybe even I feel this Magician could be finding this even like new tools to communicate here, Pisces, to And I just even, especially if there's something here about oneself, I feel that there's the Seven of Pentacles here is having the patience too with yourself. This is Saturn in Taurus, this Seven of Pentacles. And that growth takes time. You can't yell at a tree and send it these negative vibes and expect it to grow in a healthy way. I was just listening to something where they were talking about that plant. You may have heard about this, Pisces, where they do this plant project or it's like, I think it's like a plant in a museum, and people had to say positive things to one plant and say negative things to another. It's kind of intense. And they were fed the same amount of water, nutrients, all that stuff. And the one plant that received all the praise and the confidence and things thrived, and the other one just wilted away and died. And so I feel that it's just, especially if this is a self thing, be mindful of that, Pisces. Be mindful of what you're manifesting, how powerful of a man, especially with how powerful your imagination is, Pisces. Be very aware of that. Now, let's get some hydration there, Pisces, and let's talk about your energy. Because you have Mars that's entering your sign, which I feel is it's really kind of coming through strong with you, Pisces, which, it's in your energy. And then you have Saturn in Pisces, and you have your lovely ruler Neptune that's in Pisces. Now, with Mars will enter there on the 22nd of March at about 4:45 p.m. and will be there through the 30th of April. Now, I feel with this energy, Pisces, that, again, there's a paying attention to the subtleties of the body, of your energies. There's something here I even feel about maybe even some limitations that we need to forgive ourselves for. Maybe we had expected that we dreamed something and it just taken off more than we could chew, possibly pushing ourselves maybe a bit too far. And there's this acceptance here. But I feel in that learning, it's very interesting, because I feel that even with how I was talking about that, where that Chiron was coming into the mix, I'm not sure if I really got into that. Chiron is the wound that we never really quite heal, but we in the taking care of that wound, new gifts are exposed. And that's where I feel like this Mars energy here, maybe there are some sort of, because Pisces is a very interesting energy when you get into yours, wherever you have Pisces placements or where you have 12th house placements, there is this with those gifts that come with that, there are some things that sometimes need to be worked out with that as well. Because Pisces is the sign of, again, it's the last sign of the zodiac. There's an ending that's coming through here. There's something that is wanting to transcend. And so I just feel that there's something here. There's a limitation with you, Pisces, that that may turn into almost even like a blessing in disguise for you. I feel like that's Pisces energy. That's the luck that, because your traditional ruler is Jupiter. I've been kind of talking about this a little bit more. That's been kind of coming up, where I feel Sag gets a lot of the luck and things like along those lines. There is a luck that comes with Pisces too, because it's what an experience it is to have the wisdom that Pisces grants, to have gone through this experience and understand its place in the universe as this expression of source, that this creative, this one of many avenues of creation of source. And there is this fortune, this abundance that comes through that, because now you're working with the energies of the universe. Now this is bigger than, Sagittarius is that quest, that sort of almost like blind faith. Yes, they're the archer, but I feel they're almost like the arrow. They're the arrow that's going. The archer is staying still. The arrow is the one that's going out on the adventure. But Pisces is the awareness of that adventure. There's this seeing here that's, I feel, happening here, Pisces. It's very, very cool. I feel that this how this Mars may be healing you energetically, or how you can work with this Martian energy. This could be a very active, intuitive energy too. Some things may be brought up for you to let go in order to heal, to expand that psychic knowledge, to get you in a more empathetic place to feel. I'll tell you what, Pisces, I just had a very, very kind of cool experience where I was looking over some friends' charts, and I went to hang out with them, and just to see how they were expressing the energies. I was putting myself how would I translate with that energy, and then I could feel them as they were talking in certain situations and things. It's just like seeing different placements light up, and that's what I feel like can happen with you with this energy here, Pisces. Things could feel like they're just like different synapses, and things could be kind of firing off new abilities. Maybe this magician, you're not even really sure how to. It's very interesting. And with all of that, let's talk about Saturn, because Saturn is going to be has been in Pisces, or been in your sign since 2023 of March. And it's been a little over a year now since Saturn's been in your sign. And he'll be there till the 24th of May, where he'll do some retrograding. Him and Neptune will be. It's gonna be. I feel like it's like they're wanting to close. I feel like it's almost like them giving an indicator of just like, hey, we're getting ready to pull out of the dream. And because I've been feeling some stuff here with where your ruler's getting ready to move. Well, let's maybe finish up with Saturn. Because Saturn, I feel, in your sign has been wanting you to become more disciplined with that energy that you have, Pisces. And I heard someone talk about intuition the other day that I really thought it was a very fascinating thing, Pisces. And it is something to think about. That with those powerful intuitive gifts, sometimes you do just know things, Pisces, especially water energy. My sun sign is in Cancer, and I have a few other placements in Cancer as well. And that water energy the deeper you meet yourself, the more you can deeply meet others and put yourselves in their shoes. And Pisces is one that is probably the most empathetic sign, because you literally, your imaginations can build that up. It's very similar to Cancer. It is, and like we all have a different way of kind of feeling that. But I feel that it is respecting that boundary of when you know something maybe that the other person may be aware of, may not be aware of, but is not wanting to share. Be mindful about pushing, and just be sensitive about, as far as like allowing them the autonomy to feel what they're feeling, and to not be invasive with that energy. That's something where I kind of will talk about Scorpio sometimes with their energy. It's kind of intense. You can tell, I don't know about you, Pisces, but every time I experience someone with Scorpion energy, it's a lovely energy. I love it. But there is this this kind of probing that happens sometimes, that you like, it's just like, you have to be mindful of those, not just physical boundaries, but those energetic boundaries as well. And I feel like that's what Saturn is learning to get us to become more disciplined in our exchanges with each other, and learning to work with our imagination, to take those dreams and give them form. I feel Saturn here is very supportive, with how he's going through this transit, because both him and Neptune are ending this cycle around the same time. And so it's like they're both exiting this dream together. And I feel that by the end of this, I feel Saturn really wants you to feel confident in these gifts that Neptune has been giving you, and blessing your Pisces placements over these last, since 2011. And let's talk about her, because she's been there, like I said, since 2011 of April, and will be there through 30th of March 2025, and then do a little retro. Her and Saturn are going to do like this little shuffle, that's a little cha-cha. And I feel that this really has been a very, very wonderful time for you, Pisces, for just understanding the higher mind, to kind of break away from the mercurial a little bit. Just everything with the Magician being in reverse, and manifesting with, like understanding manifestation beyond just earthly tools, beyond the everyday type of things that Mercury deals with, getting into that higher mind type of energy, connecting Pisces, creation and creativity. This has been one for you to really kind of connect with source, plug in and express yourself. And you can still tap into that, Pisces. This could be where maybe, if you happen to have Venus in Pisces, this can be maybe creation with others. This could be maybe if you have Mars in Pisces, maybe this is doing this expression through dance, moving the energies in a different type of way. Maybe this is express yourself through maybe various styles of yoga, possibly here, maybe even doing like a sort of like a Tai Chi. Whatever this is looking like, this Neptune, I feel like, has been wanting you to get familiar with the nebulous, getting familiar with source, getting familiar with the frequency that is Pisces, and understanding how powerful that is. Neptune is finishing up the cycle, and we won't experience Neptune and Pisces on this journey again. So this is a time, I feel, Pisces, to be responsible with this gift, and be disciplined and hone this craft. And it doesn't mean you have to turn it into some sort of Ten of Pentacles or anything along those lines, a career or a legacy, but I do feel that this is just working in moments of spirituality, allowing yourself to just flex that imagination, to work with you. How's your dream space been? This could be, I feel even that Mars and Pisces energy could stimulate a lot of maybe dream energy for you there, Pisces. Keep a journal around, write some of these stuff down. So maybe we're seeing different events, maybe we're dreaming about others, possibly. And it's just like, maybe it's, doing some interpretations along those lines, and a lot that you're really working with here, Pisces. So, and this energy here has been forming conjunctions with your signs, which are when the planets are, it depends on the orb that you work with. I've been flirting around with about 5 degrees or so with those kind of energies, between 0 and 5 degrees of a sign. And conjunctions are a fusion, a blending of energy. So wherever you have Pisces, Neptune has been merging with that, fusing it with that psychic, intuitive energy that she brings. Venus will have just finished up doing all that stuff with her in her sign, and this has been happening over the last 13 years. Every year Venus, happens to get over through that sign. So there's been just so much buildup that I feel like has been happening here, Pisces. And conjunctions it's just like, how do you translate? How do you work with these new gifts that may be kind of coming up for you? And how have the energies been blending with you, Pisces? Have you been feeling a little bit out of disconnected maybe with the world? How's that been looking? But interesting, very interesting, Pisces. Thank you, yourself. So, with your next card here, you have the Poet card, which is a card of relationships and vulnerability. And I want to say we were talking about that with the Knight of Cups, being more vulnerable in your relationships. And this could maybe even be Pisces, because this I feel where this is where the big kind of abundance and things comes with Jupiter being your ruler. This could be where we're being vulnerable with the universe. Understand, sending some of your concerns, some of your wishes, some of your what you want to manifest, and solidifying that relationship. There's no need to apologize to your higher self, to your source. They love you regardless. They know you're going through this experience here, and that this energy is dense. And maybe you've been feeling heavy, vulnerable, however this may be translating for you, Pisces. Again, take it as it resonates. But yeah, I feel that could be mending that, Pisces. There could be something here, maybe with some others that maybe, and this might be something that might be coming up in this lunar eclipse that's getting ready to come up here, Pisces, where, and we'll get to that in a moment. So I keep shuffling around the energies, but this I feel can be an energy here for you, Pisces, to meet others, just really kind of put yourselves in their shoes, but not in a way I feel like is overwhelming or that but in just a different type of way here. Let me get some tarot on this, Pisces, and get some details with this poet. Alright, Pisces. Thank you, higher self. Oh, there's my girl. What is up? Ooh, look at this, Pisces. Very interesting. Small reversal storm here, but that's alright. So you have that's interesting. You have the star card, the sun card, the star card is Aquarius, the sun, the Empress, Venus. So Venus, I feel like, is very, very interesting, Pisces. And then you have the Queen of Swords here, which is Libra energy for me, all in reverse here, Pisces. And that is very interesting, Pisces, because I do feel like I was saying, I feel Venus is playing a big part in this. I feel that if there's something that is going on in your relationships, Pisces, the Empress here is giving me this energy of maybe, especially with the star card being in reverse, of needing to do some internal work. That maybe there's something within that we need to shine a light on that can reveal some of these, if there's any sort of relationship tensions. Because something is very unclear here with the Queen of Swords being in reverse. It's I feel this Empress is approaching relationships in a new type of way. This could be somewhere, again, we may need to be a little bit more aggressive in expressing our needs, allowing ourselves to feel vulnerable, allowing ourselves to, whatever this may be here, Pisces. But I feel that this could even be, Pisces, that maybe for some there is, because I'm just kind of looking at this energy here with this relationship, the Sun, Venus, and Aquarius. Aquarius is a very friendly energy. Venus is about building this relationships. There's this vitality, this brightness that's going on with the Sun. And maybe there's some relationships here that maybe we're needing to let go in a sense. Maybe we're not sure where things are going with the Queen of Swords being in reverse here, even with the Sun, but there's something there's a happiness that may have been, that's not there, that's maybe needing some space, possibly. This may not even be where we need to and sever ties or anything, but it just may need to just, the relationship may need to breathe a little bit. There's something that's needed to be healed, maybe more individually. The Empress needs to take care and nurture. And then once that's done, coming back together again, because there could be something here as far as like maybe a codependency, possibly maybe like a, but I feel some truths are needing to be spoken here, Pisces. Some things that may be kind of tough to say, some tough to things, and but know that I feel the star card here is knowing that you will heal from this, and very interesting, Pisces. And I think I'm gonna leave that there. Let's talk about Taurus energy. Because you have Big Papa, your ruler, Jupiter, that's in Taurus, and then you have Uranus that's been in Taurus. And let's talk about Uranus, because Uranus has been there since May of 2015 and will be there through July of 2025, and he'll do some retrograding back between Taurus and in Gemini. And I feel, I mean, a lot of these sort of like incoming energies, I feel like are kind of been coming to the forefront here, Pisces. And I feel that this Uranus and Taurus, where I feel this energy has been one for you, or I feel like it can be an energy for you to see how you've come through the changes that this energy has been, because this has been a very kind of uncomfortable place for Uranus to, or really more so for the Taurus energy to operate in, with Uranus being there, because Taurus is about that security, that foundation, but I feel that Uranus has been challenging where we've been putting our security in. We maybe some things that used to be very excitable. But for you, Pisces, I feel like this has been an opportunity to reveal for you some new ways of finding this sense of security. But again, about because Uranus is that higher mind, the higher octave of Mercury, and I just feel that this has been one from you to kind of, in a way, almost like see from the standpoint that's very fascinating. It's almost like seeing from the standpoint that Uranus is seeing this energy from, how Uranus is wanting us to change. That, because this has been forming sextiles with your energy. And sextiles are very easily excitable type of energies. And this could be very inspirational stuff for you, Pisces, an energy for you to ground some new ideas, to try some new things, to journey outside of the box and reestablish this new sense of freedom, working with your gifts in a different type of way. And I feel that this could even be seeing where you've been, how things have maybe even restricted your senses, Pisces. Because I feel Pisces is one that is, with so how much noise and imagery and just how overly stimulated this, or overstimulating this realm can be. I feel like this Uranus is inviting you to get freedom of your senses back. Really kind of find yourselves, to get in touch with nature, possibly here, to find changes in the environment, tune into where things are going. I bet it's very, very fascinating for you, Pisces. And I feel if you've been feeling like things have been kind of rocky here, and you haven't been able to, maybe manifestation hasn't been as smooth, we've been on this track, this Uranus in Taurus, I feel it gives you a moment to just kind of slow down and reevaluate what we've been going, not necessarily needing to just like start from scratch, but start from experience. accept the situation for what it was. Maybe there was some things that seemed excitable in that moment. It didn't quite translate out like it could, but we learn from this stuff, and you grow from this, you heal from this, you process this. And I feel like in that and there's something, let's talk about Jupiter, because Jupiter is wrapping up his time in Taurus, and he's been there since 2023 of May last year, and will be there through the 25th of May. Now, this Jupiter in Taurus, I feel like, has been learning to kind of appreciate the little things. Again, to kind of learn, I feel, from nature, in a sense. Learning from kind of slowing down a little bit. Questioning, do the things that we value really support our growth, getting us towards that highest vibration? In what ways can we maybe even, I feel like, kind of expand that sensitivity there, that receptiveness, get back in touch, in connection with the earth here, Pisces? This is very, very, again, there's that transcendent side of Jupiter that's kind of coming through here. The less, just like, because Jupiter, yes, he's abundant, he's very giving, but he's more than that. That, yes, he's, very lucky, but Jupiter is where we find luck, because there's a place, an area where we've grown, where we learned something there, where we may have learned to be patient with the growing process. I feel even can be something where this Jupiter in Taurus has, and learning to weather the changes. It's in what this is going through, what you may have been going through here, Pisces. But I'm picturing a storm for some, that maybe this Uranus in Taurus has been a lot of excitable energies, but it may seem like your boat has been rocking, but it's like, it was like once you start fighting the storm, it like leads you to the eye, and then there's this peace that's happening here, Pisces, that I feel that can still be established, but I feel there's this establishing that sense of that grounding, that in this, that, let me get some oracle, or get an oracle on this, Pisces, because let me try to ground this energy, Pisces. Because I always love doing your readings, Pisces, because I have my sun's in the 12th house, I have Chiron and the South Node, and Mercury all in the 12th house, so I love talk about this type of stuff when we get into that sort of, because it may sound, like that sort of larger than life kind of stuff. Oh, and that one's been going around a little bit too. It may sound a little just kind of out of, but maybe not for you, Pisces. But you think you have yourself. So you have the Scholar card here, Pisces, which is a card of investigation and research. And I feel that this is, again, like there's this learning from, especially with Jupiter there, I feel like there's this learning from this earthly experience. There's this need to, maybe we've become a little attached in this, really kind of consumed in the physical. Maybe it's like that escapist tendency of Pisces, and I feel like it's not intentional, but it's just something that, see where you've been putting your energy. And I feel like really think about is like, from when I pick up my phone to when I put it down, that was a time exchange. When I went to go do X, okay, that required this and that. Like, just being aware of things in a different way. Investigate some of these, investigate maybe some things that are going on in your relationships here, possibly. This could be with yourself, with others, with source, but there is something I feel like that maybe that changing with that Uranus and Taurus, that we may not be seeing. It gets like a blessing in disguise is what I'm getting with this Taurus. And just kind of reflect on how things have changed for you since 2018, and where it has been very, kind of tumultuous energy a little bit. How you've gotten through it, what you've learned from that, how you've grown. Research some of the reactions that came up for you. What were some intense period of time? What are some things that are still maybe a little foggy, that you feel like you just sort of blinked and it was just like a whole different era, or whatever that's looking like. But Let me get some tarot on this Pisces. All right, Pisces. You got yourself. All right, let's see what's going on here. Interesting. So you have the Five of Swords, the Ace of Wands, the Temperance card, Sagittarius energy, and the Four of Cups upright. Then you have the Three of Cups, the Lovers, Gemini energy, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Eight of Cups in reverse. And Eight of Cups, Saturn and Pisces. And I feel there's something with that Eight of Cups that something that we have an emotional attachment here to, something that we're holding some strong ties that we're needing to let go of, in a sense, or because there's something here with the Three of Cups, even the Lovers, there's this dissonance that's happening here. Maybe we're finding this different sense of balance. You know, this could be where I feel like maybe even for some, there could be this opportunity here, if you're having dissonance with relationships, to find a way to integrate that and to find some sort of happy medium here, to be able to hear each other out and to listen, to do it in a way that is not just, I feel, in this looking at the bigger picture, I feel, in this conversation, because that's interesting. We're talking about this communication, and then you have the signs that they're on that kind of learning axis with the Temperance, Sag, and Gemini, because they're opposite signs of the zodiac. But I feel that this energy here is not sweating the details. Like, I'm getting more of the Gemini energy coming through with that. And again, just coming from an honest place with that Temperance card. They're allowing two truths to be real. You know, to allow the experiences to be real, but to have that common ground where it's like, okay, I felt it like this way, I felt this way. You know, how can, because I feel, and that's going to be something I feel we won't be able to, you know, we may want to kind of rush this thing along that Pisces may not even want to deal with. You may just want to just kind of get out of there. But, and that's up to you, Pisces. But then I feel that there are follow-up questions with that decision as well, if you so feel compelled to ask those. But there's a learning experience somewhere here, and this, I feel like it's learning about yourself through the exchange from others. Maybe there's some groups that we're no longer hanging out with. And Venus came out with Aquarius. When we're talking about this energy, and the Five of Swords is that Venus and Aquarius energy here. Maybe could even be an investigation about why maybe we get maybe defensive, maybe about certain ideas, possibly there, Pisces. Why there can't be this sort of moderate energy here of whatever that may be looking like. But the Knight of Pentacles, I feel like, is whatever this maybe conversation that's needing to be had, whatever this relationship that we may be mending. I feel like we need to make sure that we're going in with some sort of game plan and not just going in there with the winging it or just, you know, something along those lines there, Pisces. Very interesting too. I'm feeling this energy of, with the Lovers, some sort of decisions that maybe that's needing to be made, that maybe we're not wanting to make, possibly here, Pisces. You can take that as it resonates. But there's something here, I feel, with the Four of Cups that it's like you can't ignore. It's like it's been in your awareness. You may try to drown this out. She's got these headphones on here. She's closing her eyes here, but I feel the universe is still going to have that cup held out there. You know, the universe will play the long game. And I feel that there's something here about researching a certain decision that we're maybe getting ready to make a choice, as far as like maybe there's this new chapter that's getting ready to start here. I'm getting kind of World card energy, but you do whatever this may be, Pisces. You know, just do some research with this. And again, this could maybe even be with like a business partner here. But let's move on from that, Pisces. Let's talk about Libra, since all this, we can talk about all this, some of this relationship stuff here. Because you have a full moon penumbral lunar eclipse that's going to be happening in Libra on the 25th of March at about midnight. And this will be happening at 5 degrees 7 minutes of Libra. Now, this is an interesting one, especially with how your energies have been going here, Pisces, that I feel that there is going to need to be this sort of increased level of compassion. A penumbral eclipse, visually, the not a lot is happening. The Earth is casting a slight shadow on the moon, so it's it's not a very noticeable thing. But I feel there are some things for you, Pisces, because it's in that full moon energy. How I've been feeling it is like some subtle nuances are coming up to the surface that are being, and maybe some things again that where we need to allow people that autonomy, that to bring up these situations where we may have a feeling, you may have a strong intuition, but it may not be, we don't want to force Ace of Wands, the situation to kind of like come up here, Pisces. But I feel this is one where, again, you're understanding that, because now the Ace of Wands is giving me this, just how we're offering our energies up is very differently. You know, I feel like there's this chance of discernment that's coming through here. Very kind of King of Wands, very responsible with where he's putting his energies, but it just feels like that things may come under some sort of almost like microscope in a sense for you, Pisces. I feel like you're like either some tendencies or some habits or some choices that may come up for you or may come up in others. And again, this is Libra deals with more than just love relationships. This is any sort of your sort of intimate one-on-one kind of relationships there. But you know, this all, when you think about the rulership of this energy, the moon is in Libra, who's ruled by Venus, who's in Pisces at the time, in your sign, who's, you know, again, under that rulership of Neptune. So I feel you're very powerful in this energy, Pisces, at least your energy is. So just, again, be mindful of the boundaries of others, the things that you may perceive that they may not, you know, but let's get some tarot, or get an oracle on that, Pisces, and get some details with that. Okay. Think of yourself. Interesting, Pisces. So you have the Waker card in reverse here, and this is a card of awareness and reflection. So be mindful of how you are showing up in, I feel, relationships. Be mindful of how others are showing up. Be mindful, I feel like, about forcing awareness on others. You know, we can't control how others act. We can only control ourselves. And what you may see, I feel like it's not necessarily for you to be in. And there's because Pisces is this awareness. You know, what I've noticed being, you know, when we get into your season and how this energy affects, you know, once the sun moves there, because the sun's my chart ruler. There is this sensitivity to the experience that happens with Pisces energy. That can be, it's a very subtle thing, but it is a lot. And I just feel like there's something here about paying attention to how we come across, to where there may have been some sort of evasiveness that have been coming on through here, Pisces, or maybe even where we've let others in, possibly, just not having that discernment. But I feel like this awareness and this investigation is all kind of, something here is all kind of tied together for however this has been resonating, Pisces. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details with that. And that's interesting with both Mercury and Gemini, the lovers, being here. That Gemini, that energy is, yes, Gemini is about communication, but it is how we perceive the everydays, our everyday, like all the little things, before even thought even forms. And so, yeah, it's like I feel like we're even for some, I feel this energy here. There's something about, this invitation with Neptune, about maybe seeing things in a different type of light here, Pisces. Developing a different sense of awareness. But let me see what's going on here. That's fascinating. So you have the Hanged One, the Death card, Scorpio, and the Hanged One's Neptune energy, and then you have the Eight of Pentacles in reverse here, Pisces. And I feel there's something here, Pisces, that we're needing to, one, get into a practice with. Maybe this is a practice of being a bit more aware, a bit more present. That's what I mean by that when I say awareness, Pisces. So being more present, being in the moment, and seeing how things change. Because I feel that something's gotten stuck here, Pisces. And it's like there's this reflection that's needing to be that's happening. Or even differently, I almost even feel that there's something here for some that maybe there is this awareness of a certain situation, but we're not putting the energy in to change it. Or maybe it's proving even a little bit harder than you had expected to do this change. But this Hanged One is being kind and being compassionate with yourself there, Pisces, on that growth, with that realization. But I do feel that we do want to make sure we are taking the actions, that we want to see some sort of tangible results with these energies here. And just with how, again, you got two very, your ruler, one of your rulers here, and then Venus, who does very well in your sign. I just feel like this is you again connecting with that higher space. And this may even make maybe even a need to make space for that. The Empress is, granted she's pregnant here, but I just feel like this Empress is giving me a very full energy here, whereas the Hanged One is like he's fasted in order to get to that state of where he's being replenished by Source. For those Pisces, this could just be an awakening. Like really, I mean really, it's awareness is a very, very powerful tool, Pisces. So don't sleep on that. And with this last energy, we have Pluto in Aquarius. Now we're going to be going through this energy for the next 20 years. So settle in, Pisces. But Pluto in Aquarius is going to be a very fascinating one. I feel relationships have already changed. I feel Pluto's really kind of come in hot and really this has been very early. And I feel this was like the first kind of push, to kind of shake things up a little bit. And those that survive the waves, they're healing, they're learning more about each other. But I feel this Pluto in Aquarius energy is, asking us to show up in a different type of way here, Pisces. And for you, I was feeling this energy of not being afraid of being yourself. That I feel this is, especially with these early stages here, because once we get into next year, we start getting into slowly Neptune moving into this Aquarius energy. You know, Neptune and Pluto have been in this sextile relationship for a little while, especially when they were, you know, Pluto early on. But there's this energy here. I feel like once she moves into Aries, and you know, like with that Pluto in Aquarius being there, this, how do I want to put this? I feel that there's this chance to just be more in your relationships, to gain a new sense of power in your gifts, to allow your to not be afraid of your dreams, to not be afraid of that connection, of that sense of spirituality. Aquarius is a bit out there, you know, when we think about that. You know, they're associated with astrology, can be associated with space. And you and Aquarius, I feel, share something in where you both deal with the collective. But this, I feel, is you before Pluto moves into your sign and starts doing some real changes with your energies there, Pisces. This Pluto in Aquarius, I feel like, is you finding that soul tribe, finding those who are working on that awareness as well, who's putting in that reflection, investigating themselves, learning about their vulnerabilities and speaking those, and having the explanations, doing the work. And you know, that's why I feel like this is surrounding ourselves with those and embracing those differences as well. You know, we it's very interesting when I'm kind of feeling for you, Pisces. It's a lot of like, just be aware of how you're growing, Pisces. And because I feel that Neptune, something about this Neptune in Aries, I feel like is going to really kind of, I feel like, put your energies in. We'll talk about that more, Pisces. Thank you, higher self. I guess we'll talk about it right now. So you have the Weaver card here, Pisces, which is a card of rediscovery and transition. And you got a lot of eyes here, Pisces. A lot on these oracle cards here. And then there's this poet. And this Weaver, this poet, this scholar, this puppeteer, this waker, they all have this sense of, it's like a crafting here, Pisces. This is magician tools right here. This to me, what I'm picturing for you, Pisces, I'm getting just think about it. This is you, I feel, like getting a fresh kind of paint set. And you're getting this blank canvas here, and you're putting together how you want to transition through this next energy here. This is you really kind of setting some very active intentions. Again, like I was saying, your imagination in motion, in action, with that Mars being in Pisces, being fueled by that strong Neptune, that mature Neptune energy, and rich Neptune energy. And I'm really excited for this, Pisces. You know, I feel that this has been a very wonderful time for the water energies, the water frequencies, and even the earth frequencies, you know, with Neptune having traversed through your sign. And this has been a wonderful blessing for you as well. And I feel like an understanding, again, of your power, of what you have, where you're going, you know, and just like asking yourself these kind of bigger questions, this awareness of who, like what you are, Pisces, this divine being, you know, and creating this, like starting to write this story here. It's like you're learning this craft, you're building this relationship where, Now, let me get through the last tarot cards here, Pisces, so I can get you out of here. Fascinating. Interesting, Pisces. All right, last little bit here. So you have the Seven of Cups and the Two of Swords upright, and then you have the Ten of Swords and the Tower in reverse here, which is Mars energy. We've been talking about Mars for quite a bit. Let's switch back over here, Pisces. In this Mars here, this is taking action. This is you initiating this change here. I feel that Waker card, that Oracle card, there's something here I feel like about maybe getting too, maybe a little, again, too caught up maybe in the tangible. Possibly we've lost this sense of maybe just that spiritual awareness. Maybe this was something that we felt betrayed by, possibly. Maybe there was this question of faith, whatever that may be looking like there for you, Pisces. And we're healing that relationship. You know, we've been down in the dumps. Maybe we've been trying to, because again, Pisces energy is one, it can be a tough one. Pisces 12th house stuff, but it leads to, because that's how I feel like a lot of the times we can feel. We can feel like we're blindfolded with a couple of swords and, you know, not sure where we're meant to go. And but I feel this Two of Swords is this being a bit more decisive in where you're in your choices there, Pisces. Being a bit more intentional. Understanding this, the Seven of Cups is you can dream up what you want to. You know, you have this great power here, Pisces, so I feel like it's learning how to work with that a bit more intimately. Be vulnerable to source and these energies and see where that takes you, Pisces. You know, this is a great time to feel inspired, and who knows what that may look like. So, but I think I'm going to leave that there, Pisces. A little something to think about, but if you like that, if anything resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this thing, Pisces, if you know someone who's maybe been going through some relationship stuff, maybe finding this, needing to investigate a situation there, some sort of research. Be mindful of relationships that we happen to get involved in with Pisces, but maybe someone's going through some sort of transition in life, trying to understand, but then subscribe there, you hanged one. Hit that bell button to get notified when I release videos each week. And then last couple things there, Pisces. If you're curious about how these energies may be translating in your signs, or what houses they may be traversing through, or anything along those lines there, Pisces, there are some links down in the description box that you can book a reading with me. I offer these different services, from different tarot card readings to also doing like chart analysis there. I'm going to start adding some additional services as well there, Pisces, as things kind of go on there. But definitely check that out. It's down in the description box, or on the Instagram page, in Instagram. So definitely check that out. Then after we get done checking that out there, Pisces, maybe we might find a little Cancers in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, maybe. You can come over to my other channel, Alchemist, or you can just come over anyway there, Pisces. If you want to, if you're curious about knowing what the moon is doing, you want to get chart on that. Maybe you've noticed you are very sensitive to the lunar cycles. I go over every sign that she's going through, what phase she's in, when she's going void, of course when she's eclipsing, and doing all those wild lunar shenanigans. So I feel like Pisces and Cancer energy is there. We do blend in a very interesting type of way. There are some very interesting intersections there, similarities that we do share there, Pisces. So, and the moon does, I feel, very well in Pisces. And all that housekeeping there, Pisces, is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, so I can get you out of here, Pisces. I love it. Here you are, Pisces. The moon in reverse here. And look at this. This is that awareness. This is rediscovery. This is transition. This is going from the darkness of that moon to going to that sunlight there. And I feel like that sun is like, and I love how you're doing that. You got the star, the moon, and the sun card going through there all, and even coming from the tower. You know, there is this like a lot of connection that's kind of coming through here, Pisces, but this is a strong finisher here because I feel this is, I love this. Your rulers here, Neptune. You're being, and I feel you're being very divinely supported in here. But that Mars in Pisces energy, you know, you do have quite a bit of these major arcanas that are coming through here too. Now that I'm kind of looking at this, Pisces, you got quite a bit here, and so there are, yeah, wow, quite a bit. So, you know, when you do have a high concentration of these major cards, there is some sort of divine things weaving in the background here, Pisces. So, I feel this is you. Very interesting. You know, the moon can be seen as this mirror that kind of reflects the sun's light, or that. But I feel that you're this mirror of source. You know, this mirror. You are this reflection of higher self here, and that's even interesting just thinking about that reflection card. You know, we could even take it as that you being this gateway for source, this being for, and that you are Pisces, and yeah, there's just some sort of discovery here that's something being brought to light here, but yeah, let me get your other card here, Pisces, see what's going on. But yeah, we're about to be out of this heavy Pisces energy here soon. We got one more year that I feel like the signs are going to be interacting with, the planets are going to be interacting with Neptune. Thank you, higher self, in Pisces. So, I like this. You got the cleanse card here, Pisces. So I feel like this is an energy of definitely making space for source, making space for these changes that are happening here. Especially when you got like the death card in reverse, tower in reverse. You know, maybe some changes that we don't want to do, but they're necessary for this growth here, Pisces. And in this rediscovery, and yeah, be very, very mindful of that, because you are, again, your energy is very receptive, you know, still very strong with Neptune being in your sign. So get familiar with this energy, learn to process this stuff, and I feel like it'll learn to integrate with this with time. So, and stay grounded in this, Pisces. But I think I'm gonna leave that there. So you stay safe out there, Pisces. All this energy here, relationships, possibly enlightenment, possibly whatever this is looking like. I'm always with your journey here, Pisces. You raise that vibration through the roof. So, Empress, self-care. Make sure to check in, Pisces. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.